Well, of the two, I guess that will be a rather large upgrade, to be fair. Yeah. That's actually pretty sizable. It does now mean that this is one of the most visible ships in the fleet, but I think it's probably worth it. Thank you very much for the tip. Do I have augmented drive field? Did you spot that? Or you're just throwing out mods that you know happen to do a certain thing? Genuine question on that. Because I'm dyslexic, and I will be honest, looking through a list of names, I can stare at the name 8 or 9 times and not actually realize it's the one I'm looking for. Oh, you don't have it. Okay, cool. But I will keep an eye out for that one, because that would actually rise this a lot better than militarized subsystems. The only, well, actually, the thing with militarized subsystems is that's also removing the penalty of the sensor on this and the sensor strength. So it's a little bit back and forth on whether to have that or not. I realize that the stealth fleets are not really a meta, but I'm enjoying playing around with it for now. But yeah, Sax, that's it's twofold. One, because it pumps up the burn level. My cruiser is the slowest vehicle that we have, with a burn of 8. So anything more than that is kind of wasted, because I'm slowed to 8 no matter what, but I could speed the cruiser up, to be fair. Also, I'm trying to keep the sensor profile down a bit. Oh, tug ships increase the burn speed of a fleet. That's very interesting. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you very much for the tip. All right. That's pretty solid for us right now. I will be sharing the cargo capacity of this ship. Let's repair everything. Actually, before we go any further, let me just double check in here. Wow, that is stupid fast. A burn of 11. Dear Lord. Oh, that's because he's got the augmented drive field. Never mind. I can share the dedicated targeting now and get integrated now that I've got it. I don't see a point in getting integrated here for the time being. I would like to have the shielded thrusters, though. Because right now, this has the, by far and away, the largest profile of anything else in the fleet. There you go. How, now that we're getting to, actually, I'm not gonna worry about this right now, but a point to be for my future self to revisit later is, now that we're starting to get to the sort of size of fleet we are, where we've got cruisers, is there any point in trying to be stealthy, or is it better now to start transitioning more towards just being big enough not to have to worry? That being said, I do still like playing around with the stealth mechanics. So, now I think Galatia... Is it Galatia or Corvus that has the... abandoned facility. No, that is an actual mining station. So no, not there. Corvus. Abandoned terraforming platform. There we are. Alright, let's head over to Corvus then, and we'll see what we can do. In my opinion, stealth is only worthwhile in the early game. Thank you for your opinion, Genoxa. And yeah, hopefully we can build up to getting some more phase ships in the fleet until you pull this down. Because right now it's kind of obnoxious how high that is. Oh, I am aware that people were saying that once... The problem with phase fleets is they cost so much to deploy compared to other ships. So that's something I'm going to have to experiment with and see how bad it gets. Here we go. Is it going to tell me where the abandoned new? Well, let's head over here for now then. Where is the terraforming platform? Of course it is, all the way over there. Well, while I'm here... First, actually, I'm going to need to go dark so I can just talk to them. Let's see. Okay, they're stable. And they're producing... Well, actually, they've got nothing in excess, sadly. Do they have anything worth picking up here? No, not really. Well, it's been a little while since I've done a raid, so we'll raid anyway. Oops. And we'll see what we can get. I could get the volatiles. Honestly, though, I could get the supplies if I really wanted to. I wouldn't get much fuel. To be fair, I wouldn't get much supplies either. I think right now it's things that would be useful to me. The volatiles are tempting just because there's low danger. And they're a reasonably valuable commodity. The supplies will be useful to me in the long run. Simply because I don't have to worry about it. But I've got a decent amount of supplies as is. We'll just hit the volatiles for now. Lost 6 Marines. There we go. Alright, let's get on over to the abandoned mining platform. Would raiding ship equipment give more? I'm not actually sure. It depends on the facility. If they've got the sort of facilities that make sense for there to be high tier ship equipment there, then it can be very profitable to raid them. You can get some nice blueprints. You can get all sorts of things. But if that station is likely to be... Oh, what are you up to down here? Huh. But if that station is likely to be buying in a lot of its fleets, like kind of ragtag scrap fleets, probably not as useful. Now, if I store things here, will it get thieved? That's an important question. Yeah, core world pirate stations are basically fancy planets and need to be depopulated or bombed. Outer system pirate stations, however, are just fancy stations that launch raids. So can be permanently destroyed and then will respawn. Nightly Prophet. I've been told things stored here are secure. Okay. We will take your word for it. I'm going to store all of my weapons. Then pick a couple back up that I think I'm probably going to need should I recover a ship. I'm not storing these. They are too precious for me for science with. Right, in terms of weapons that I would like to take with me, point defense laser, long range point defense laser, IR pulse, tactical laser. I would like to bring the Reaper torpedoes, the heavy blaster, just in case, the dual flak cannons, also just in case. Gravton beam. Skulls cannons are kind of crazy. Kind of very crazy. 1,200. Yikes. Accuracy is perfect. Turn rate is very slow. Pick those up as well. Light auto cannons. Take the harpoons. Take the swarm missiles. Take the light dual machine guns. I think that's enough for me to equip a decent ship with. Actually, I might bring the mortars as well, just so and the assault cannons, just so I've got some medium DACA. As for the fighters, longbows, I guess. Maybe the talons as well. Right. Now, as for ship, wait a second. What is this? Why is there a ship here already? Is this a sign that I'm going to come back to my ships not being there? I am most concerned. Oh, the shuttle is always there from the start. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, chat. I will confess, I'm just nervous that I'm going to come back and everything's gone. Right, let me go and dock. Should probably turn my transponder on as well before I get pulled over by the Galaxy Police. And I mean, I would like to get the best deal for this I can, but actually, Naraka does want them, so I guess we could hold on to them for now. Oh, there we go. I can't get it though because I'd need a commission. Poop. A little bit disappointing. Not gonna lie, just a little bit. Okay, we've got a reasonable amount of room here. at least enough for me to start moving resources around, for if nothing else. And head over to Nakara. Head back up here. Gather the items that I left behind. Start ferrying them. I'm just going to straight up sell them to the pirate station. I'm fairly certain some of them, especially the food, will do okay. Sold to the pirate station. The pirate station. They should be willing to offer a decent price for that because they're generally wanting it. Oh, hello. Pop. The independent forces transmit their IFF codes, which allows you to join the battle. Do I even want to, though? Oh, sure. The independent forces are pursuing them. Fine. There's almost no point, but I'm not going to miss out on a chance to mess with the Luddic path. But I'm not deploying my main actual fleet there. Good for them. I'll just watch this play out. Pretty much no one likes the Luddic path is what I've worked out. They are somehow about as well liked as pirates. Literal pirates. Damn. Nice use of PDC. Oof. Oof. Bad news bears there. You get. Maybe I should have sent in more. Yeah, that was some crazy good maneuvers. That was waiting until the last second to activate the PDCs. Sabo did a decent job there of causing a bit of trouble for them. But you're going to need to apply more pressure, otherwise they're going to literally just go. Oh my lord. I don't even know why I deploy the wolves. They are not... Oh, why? You're called wolves! Not spaniels. You know what? I don't even feel like trying to catch you. You earned that. You earned that mostly because we failed so hard. one supply back from that battle. Ah, whatever. My goodness. Terrible. Sometimes the AI is so cautious. So painfully cautious. Okay, we got one supply bag. Spent 20 to go in there and help. Manual piloting is very rewarding and extremely fun with a little practice. Yeah. Yeah, no, to be perfectly fair, like piloting the Hammerhead and my cruiser are great fun. Sometimes I think maybe I need to give my my wolves aggressive pilots. Though sadly, we are heavily restricted in how many officers you can get. There are skills which increase it, but I think the most you can have is 10, I believe. To be fair, the Spaniels would have been more aggressive than those wolves. Even if their quote-unquote aggression was wanting to run up to their new friend and greet them excitedly with their tails wagging. Right, I'm just gonna straight up sell this, and then I'm gonna sell this on the open market just because I'm slowly building up a decent bit of rapport with the hegemony just through selling them, selling these sorts of items, doing good trade deals. Do I want more fuel? Let's grab 500 more. Alright. Now, as for supplies, I think we're probably okay. Oh, I know I can accelerate time with Shift. As a streamer, it's very useful for me to be able to use the time while the fleet is moving from A to B, and I'm reasonably confident that it's not going to get itself into trouble, to read chat and catch up on what people are saying and interact with people. Like I'm interacting with you right now. Alright, let's swing up and around. Chat time, best time. Indeed. It's a primary difference between, well, actually not the primary difference, but one of the many, but large differences between streaming something and let's playing it. We'll just go straight through. Actually, are you brightening up? No. I do love that. Oh, that is brightening up. I do love that the areas get brighter as they're about to storm. That's actually pretty cool. How many demods do we have? Let me have a look for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 demods in total. Hello, SparXF. How you doing, mate? Aavak streaming in clear day? Are you ill? I don't think so. I hope not. I don't need that on anymore. Right. Let's get over here to the cargo pods. Go. Yeah, I haven't slept yet, guys. So I guess everything is working as normal. Though, my lord, I should probably force myself to go to bed soon. I'm told that those little moments where I pretend to be unalive are necessary for maintenance. I'm not sure I agree, but... I really need to find time to watch more gameplay from this game. Looks like an interesting fusion of Mountain Blade and aspects of Stellaris and Star Drive. I would say there's not as much Stellaris in this. The best comparison I could make is if you've ever played the game Space Rangers. This is Mountain Blade wearing the skin of Space Rangers. Aavak, you need to shut down and update your drivers. Also, Aavak, nope, not forcing Aavak 10 on me. You'll mess with my sound settings. I've just got them to work. Right, let's grab the bits. Sadly, I can't grab all the bits. Pop them back in orbit, please, and thank you. Was this one? Yes. Let's trying to get down there. And then we'll come back, grab this, because I'm that kind of person. To be fair, it's like 1,000 organics. That's going to fetch me a decent amount of money, even if I sell it at just base levels, because I got it for free. Aavak, my friend, I went to sleep when you started the stream. Yep, that is a reasonably common occurrence when I stream. To be fair, I see a cringer emote in chat. No, but how you doing, buddy? Well, your brain can only dump out old, useless cells when you're asleep. To be fair, there's a lot of things your body needs to do when you're asleep. As much as I joke about it, at least a little bit of sleep every day is absolutely essential. There's all sorts of maintenance stuff your body does when it doesn't have to worry about the whole being conscious thing. I am well, thanks, mate. Very well, in fact. Hello, pirate peeps. Right. I would like to trade with you pretty much all of this for whatever you'll give me for it, because I don't care. Just take it. 54k. A little bit less than I was hoping, but I accept. Right. I'll be right back. I think. That being said, let me just double check that you haven't got any new ships. I'm always in the market for phasecraft, but I don't want the pirate versions of them. Which you'd be... Oh, okay. I appreciate the being picky about getting pirate variants from pirates is a little bit silly. You're not wrong. Nevertheless, this is oh dear me. Really, you pulled in the space station. The pirate fleet maneuvers to remain supported by the station, allowing your fleet to disengage. However, your forces are likely to be harried as they pull back. They do not appear to be certain of your identity. Any hostilities will have reduced impact. I mean, no. The enemy forces harass your ships as they retreat, causing much disruption, but ultimately do not force a battle. Good. Scoundrels, leave me alone. Thank you. Go that way. Repaired a little bit more structural damage. We did lose a lot of combat readiness from that, but it should be fine. That being said, though, I am now hemorrhaging supplies at a fantastical rate. On that note, yeah, 70 a day. All of my ships lost like 20% combat readiness. Expensive. What's he saying? Astronomical? I swear. You shush. Why would you do this, High Kaiser? What be you? It would be nice if they got a couple of different music tracks. Okay, a location of a mining station. All right, that's actually worth investigating. Reasonably good. Can you play this game as like a single ship? Or is the objective always to make as big a fleet? It's not to make as big a fleet as possible, but it probably... I don't think you'd get the full experience of the game trying to play as a single ship. That being said, it may be more possible than I'm imagining. But I get the distinct impression that you're going to want at least a small fleet. You can definitely make a tight, highly advanced fleet rather than a gigantic low-tech fleet or anything like that. And have, you know, far fewer but much more expensive to field and more competent ships that make up your fleet. Versus the, you know, kind of like the frigate fleet. Just you have all 30 combat ships are just frigates and you just kind of swarm the enemy, that kind of thing. But I definitely feel that the scale of this game is more to the idea of small to large fleet engagements, rather than, and I used the comparison earlier, Space Rangers, where the whole game is your one ship and you spend the whole game gradually upgrading that one ship and its various capabilities and its weapons and so on and so forth. So, yoink. Now then, where did I leave other things? Were there any... Chat, do you remember? Did I leave any other items anywhere? Yeah, Twist on Fire. The thing with... I imagine you can have a small fleet. And depending on what you're doing, you can tailor your fleet for that specific purpose. So, whereas I largely move around with a fleet that's capable of doing quite a few different things at a time, instead, what I've just done now is dropped off a couple of ships that I didn't need. You could be a lot more aggressive with that. And if you were going out on a certain bounty, you'd get relative intel, and then you would tailor the fleet to that objective. If you were going to go and hit the space station, you'd probably bring a fleet of like 4 or 5, I don't know, cruisers or capital ships, whatever, mixed in. And that would be it. Just very high ordnance points ships for that one battle. Then if you were doing freight, you'd have a couple of freighters and a light escort just to keep interested parties at bay. If you were going out for a bounty on another fleet, then you would make a fleet composition that is enough to handle it, but not more than you require. And you could probably play it quite close to the bone in that regard. Yeah, if you've got a small fleet, a single tanker, even like the mid-range tanker, is probably going to be able to carry enough fuel that you're never going to run out. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point to make. While I've been exploring here, I have been chronically what would be the correct adjective? I've had far too little storage space for the loot that I've been finding, and it's caused logistical problems. I should have brought more freighters. Fuel was never an issue, so more tankers wouldn't have been necessary, but more freighters, absolutely. But occasionally we have gotten into fights, and having more combat ships has helped here and there. But yeah, definitely I should have considered making a better fleet composition for what I was doing. Now, are there any... There's nothing in here. That is... Oh, right, that, of course, yeah. Well, I'm going to try and draw out the pirates. Yes, 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 you can run away. And the way I intend to do that is by capturing this, which should force their picket ship to leave, wherever it is, and come investigate. Okay, there you are. I'm absolutely willing to go and fight you if you want. Tonk. It's attempting to disengage. I could harry them, which would drop their combat readiness without forcing me to get into a fight. Or I could just get into a fight with them. Let's harry their retreat. Your forces harass the enemy ships as they retreat, causing much disruption, but ultimately do not force a battle. And then I'm going to take control of their sensor array. And then I'm going to continue to follow you around where I can. Alright, so their ships have lost some of their combat readiness, though some of them are reasonably high. Despite that, in fact, quite a lot of them are reasonably high. Now, this is the thing, is a lot of the skills, like we were talking about having a custom, like a fleet fit for purpose, basically. A smaller, a fleet big enough to achieve what you need, but not so big that it's kind of like a jack-of-all-trades fleet. Quite a lot of the skills have like a kind of maximum efficiency based on the amount of ordnance points worth of ships you have. So the amount of ships of a certain size that you have in your fleet that you could field in combat, so on and so forth. And while some of them are fairly generous, some of them are geared much towards smaller fleets. Smaller fleets with smaller ships in them. I am not a murder hobo in space. That is a lie. I am dealing with pirates. I am making space safe. For me. We're going to harry them again. Now, these ships are actually dangerously low on there. But they're going to be able to burn away pretty aggressively at this point. Unless they can't. Which I'm okay with if they're not going to be able to get away. Come on, come on, damn it! There we go. Thunk. Now, this stage, you're at 72, you're at 31. Some of them are back up to 40, but they will probably be pulled into a longer gauge. I could harry them again. And as long as I can keep up to them, I'm not using my fleet in any way. So my fleet isn't losing its combat readiness, but they're getting like to the point where their ships will start breaking. And this is the whole idea of combat readiness that I've discussed in previous streams. My idea of what combat readiness represents is a ship when it's just in peacetime, when it's just like using actual ships as for the sake of the example. You know, when they're just sailing from A to B, the systems aren't being taxed. They're not running at full power. The generator isn't being ramped up. All of the ship systems, the autoloaders, everything like that, they're being maintained to a very high degree, to a very high standard. When they're in combat, well, you don't have time to stop and take care and you know kind of grease the cogs, though I imagine that isn't something that is particularly manually done these days. But in combat, the systems are being stressed, not beyond what they're built for, but they're being pushed right up until that limit, because obviously in the middle of a fight. And realistically, combat, as in this game, combat doesn't last for a long time. A battle is decided very quickly, and then there might be things to mop up and you know the kind of the post battle cleanup to do, but the actual frenetic, sort of like frantic moment of combat, that's going to last a very short amount of time. And in that time, you know, the PDCs are going to be spewing out tens of thousands of rounds. The cannons are going to have been firing so much that the barrels will start to melt if they keep going for much longer. And that's what combat readiness represents. This is now starting to just constantly be at this high state of alert, and it can only sustain that for a little while. And what we're doing here is it's basically like the hammer and spear tactics of cavalry units. The Romans used to employ it fairly aggressively on the British Isles. Set up a camp. If you've got a larger force that are kind of troubling you, have your cavalry just go out and just harry them. Don't actually engage. Just don't let them rest. At any moment, you might swoop in and start attacking them, so they can never calm down. They always have to be on a state of high alert just in case. And forcing people, in the same way, forcing ships to remain at a state of high alert for too long will start to break that down, because it's not built to sustain that level of strain for too long. And that's effectively what we're doing. We're, like, only a few of my ships are in this scenario probably going out and actually threatening to engage, maybe shooting a couple of shots, just testing them, just letting them know they can't relax. But their entire fleet has to be on high alert because of me just slowly following behind and sending out a couple of the wolves every now and then just to remind them that I'm there and that I haven't given up the chase. But then my ships are doing that on rotation. So when it's not their turn, they're getting their downtime and they're getting their time to repair their systems and maintain everything and make sure that the guns aren't going to jam and so on and so forth. But they're not. And this, for example, this one, the Colossus here, that's now at a point where it's going to actively start to break very soon. It's guerrilla tactics, effectively. It's like the idea that if you're dealing with a superior force, don't try to kill them off. Wound them instead. Wound one or two of them. Because that person will then be sustained by the rest of the force, and that will force the entire combat group's effectiveness to decline, because they're having to shoulder this extra burden. Right. At this point, I think we can probably go in for the fight, though. The wolves won't last for very long at that, though. If I did pull them down a little bit, they would start, because at 40%, they start to have combat penalties, I think. Oh, no, actually, below 70%, they'll have combat penalties. Mild ones, like slightly lower range and that sort of stuff. But at 40% and below, they will intermittently suffer minor systems shorts, so their engines might shut down for a few seconds or a gun will jam, but that can be cleared. But below 20, as is the case here, a system can go offline for the entire fight, which is very dangerous. But yeah, we're going to pursue them at this point. Right. I think I will actually bring my cruiser in. We'll bring in the hammerheads. I'm not going to bring the carriers. I'll bring the shrikes. And we'll have wolves set up as well. Shrikes, buddy up. Hammerheads, buddy up. Yeah, for example, this. That is in a very dangerous state. And I'll just allow them to engage as they please. Aavak, you were streaming when I went to bed. What are you? What do you do to the human Aavak's body? Have I told you that I have to kill you? And then eat you? And that's how I would gain my powers. Hello. Let me quickly just destroy your engines if you don't mind. Shields up. Don't like the look of that, thank you very much. No. Shields up again. Shields down. There's no reason for me to not just harass you like this, since you can't get away. You're going to cause me an issue in a second, aren't you? Shields up. Please, thank you. I can slow down a bit. Right. I'm just going to sit here. I don't need to do anything. I'm going to allow my lasers to do the job. And let my allies help me out. Alright, how's the rest of the fighting going? Engage them as you can. I would like you to taken down, though. And I'm gonna follow through. I'll use my thrusters to try and catch up a little bit. And whilst I approach, I will allow my flux to decrease. There we go. Damn it, I thought I was going to clear that asteroid there. Sadly, no. There we go. It's already dead. I don't even need to finish attacking it. Hamheads will do the job. I will continue to try and approach the other. Try not to get in my way, though. I do not have much in the way of armor damage at all. My ship is all about... Really? Did you just have a tantrum? Oh my lord, it worked! Well, I take it back. That was a fantastic maneuver. They'll name the maneuver after you. We have yeeted the enemy at the enemy, indeed. Uh-oh. Try not to phase into the line of fire. Oh. Yeah, this cruiser is basically set up to tear down an enemy's shields so that the rest of the fleet can pull down the armor. Going to bed with Aavak's voice and waking up to it. It's a good day. Yeah, Abarash Kampachi, how you doing, mate? The aggressiveness of ships in the D menu. Ooh, actually, yeah, you're quite right. I think I'm fairly certain you may be right about that. I'll double check though. No, I definitely don't want to spend a story point on that. Thank you. Right, so what you're talking about is the doctrine over here and the aggression. Personality type of ship captains affect officers for the fleets created by your faction, as well as ships without officers, including the ones in your fleet. Does not affect officers you've hired. So, I can say that if a ship I have doesn't have, in my active fleet, doesn't have an officer, then it should be aggressive. Thank you very much. I keep forgetting about that. I think someone actually pointed it out to me previously as well, but I just completely forgot. I've got no colonies. It is a sad day. Repairs complete. Now, what I don't want is to get pulled into a fight over there. Just harry them. I can keep this up for a while. Harry, they retreat again. However, they are recovering combat readiness very quickly. Pull that right down. They may start to suffer combat problems now. I could do it again if I really wanted to, just to be absolutely certain that they weren't getting away. Sure, let's pull them right down. We've got 1%, 0%, 11%, and 28%. Only one of the ships won't literally break in a fight. Don't come back yet. They're recovering. That's good enough. And that gave me more time for my ships to repair. At this point, I'm just going to send my second in command in. Yeah, we'll send all of those. See what happens. There we go. There wasn't much ship left that could fight back, so... Consider a ship recovery? No, I don't think so. We'll pick through what they had, though. There we are. My main objective at this point is to prevent their fleets from getting involved. There we go. Now they've gone to try and fix that. I can move in and actually engage with hopefully trade. No, I can't. It's going to be at least a month until the commotion dies down because I've killed too many fleets nearby. A bit of a pain that, but I could see what else they have. They don't really have anything for me to trade, to be honest. Oh well. I had hoped that we'd be able to offload some items here, but it doesn't seem to be the case. We'll just move on. But yeah, that is an example of what happens. As people were saying, you know, you'd be there for a year. No, a month or two, depending on I think the value of stuff you've damaged, how many times you raided them, what you stole, and how big of their ships you get rid of. Why not engage their station? I don't need to, really. Having this here, in a month I can sell to it. Could steal their drugs, but then I'd need to fly back to core space to sell them. So right now, it may have a bounty on it, but that still, like, if I destroy it, it's gone. And there's all these planets nearby. Having somewhere I can go back to drop off some loot and actually get some money out of it, in the long run, that's going to be more valuable than the bounty. I mean, realistically, in this game, money is largely trivial. Doing anything for money is... I mean, realistically, you're doing it because you felt like it, not because you needed the money. Or at least that's been my experience. Like, I've had no trouble with income beyond the like first hour or two of play. And also, if you leave that there, then they're going to constantly harass the core worlds, and eventually you can save them by dropping in and taking care of the bounties that they'll have going. Oh, another... Oh, wait, no. Oh, that's a tanker. Never mind, never mind. I was going to say another troop transport, but that makes sense. Yeah, pirate stations do pop up again. I think there's... I'm not sure. Is there like a minimum or maximum that can ever exist in the world at a time? Otherwise, the world tries to, you know, spawn another one. But either way, this one is an inconvenient place for me to sell to. If I destroy it, you're right, it might pop up again. But it might pop up the other side of the core worlds, which is useless to me. Can you become a pirate? Oh yes, very much so. I'm not spending a story point to get one of these tankers. Wow, that was so little salvage though from one of those. I am actually a little bit shocked. Nay, shook. Right, we'll head down here and then jump across, I think.